Hello, everyone. Welcome to HVAC Tech Talk Live. Tonight we've got Adam and Wade. Hello, Wade and Adam. And the Techette, Kristen. How's everyone?
Wonderful.
Good.
Good.
In chat, I can see that we have Randy and Greg, Isaiah. Hey there, Isaiah. How are you doing, buddy? It's been an eventful week for everyone here tonight.
Absolutely.
All of y'all.
Whoa, sneezy.
I've had a lot of couch time here the past couple of weeks. So
How's the job hunt going?
it's going, man. I've applied to a lot of places. So a whole lot of places. I'm actually thinking about if things don't pick up here soon, I have to go a little bit further south. So
Well, you're in a small town, right?
Actually, I'm in a small town, but I'm like 15 minutes north of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. So if everyone doesn't,
we have plenty of jobs up here.
yeah. I don't, nothing personal. I don't care a whole lot about the Maryland area.
It's not that bad.
EPA, they let me go because of a Facebook post.
Because of what?
A Facebook post.
What'd you do? What was the post?
I honestly, I didn't do anything wrong that I thought was wrong, but I posted that, and they're probably watching. But I posted, as everyone knows, I moved from residential to commercial. And as everyone knows, you spend about 80% of your day in your van. And I told my boss, I said, hey, look, I said, you got to make sure you give me a decent van. I said, the one that I had was brand new, and I had Bluetooth, hands-free, and all this stuff, And he said, don't worry. He said, we'll give you a new van. So they gave me a 2017 Chevy Express. There's nothing wrong with that. But it had been wrecked before. The headlights were all whacked out, and it had one on one side, shining one side of the road, one shining on the other side. You couldn't see anything in the middle.
It was walleye.
Yeah, it was, dude. It was really honestly bad, and it wobbled going down the road. I took it into the shop. The guy said, we can't find anything wrong with it. I said, well, it still wobbles going down the road, and there was so much noise from the ladder, and I don't know what the deal was. I had basically the same ladder set up that I had on the other van, but there was so much noise from the wind.
What was it doing? That like howling?
Oh yeah, man, it was horrible. And
I figure out the best way to go with that: the legs forward and the feet on top on my van. Mm-hmm. That quiets it down.
The further back you have it, it's quieter too.
Yeah, I moved the ladders around trying to fix that. And it just didn't. And, one of my friends asked me how it was. It was Wade. It was Wade. And he asked me how it was. And I said, well, I like the commercial. I said, but my new van's a piece of shit. I said, honestly, I think I got fucked on this deal. And, yep, somehow they seen this post. And they called me into the office on a Monday morning. And he told me, he said that what I said was parasitic and demeaning towards the company. And they said they wanted to part ways with me. So go figure.
Give him the one finger salute on the way out?
Actually, man, I didn't. I shook his hand. I said, okay, man, no harm, no foul. And they took me out the back door instead of letting me come around and say bye to my friends, all the dispatchers that really liked me. They took me out the back door, had the guy that they had just recently had me to get his job, but they gave it to him because he'd been there for like 25 years. And they had him to take me home. He stayed here while I cleaned out the van, and that was it. he actually had to stay here while I went in the house and looked for all of my uniforms and bring him all of my uniforms out to him at the van. I couldn't just bring them in down to the shop. They wanted my uniforms then and there. So, but like I said, I'm not worried about it. I'll find something. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I understand. I don't ever remember signing a social media agreement. So yeah, I do have my company forced, but you got to understand, I've been working for the other guys, so I haven't done anything with my company. And I've tried some Facebook advertising and stuff. I've been through this with Wade. I've tried some advertising on Facebook, and I've went out and put out cards and stuff. And right now I've probably got about 5,000 cards out there. And my last advertisement that I had over 10,000 views. No calls. Don't know what the deal is. It's just, but also, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Also, you know, it's extremely warm here. Like it was 72 degrees here the other day. So, and we've been running in the high 50s, mid 60s. So right now it's kind of cold. It's been spitting snow, but
yeah, no, home warranty work, don't do that shit.
EPA, I am not moving to Chicago.
Why not?
Calls, man, I would go to prison in Chicago. Adam, do you not know I'm a gun owner?
And
well, they don't like you carrying your guns around up there. So also, you want to play that little? Is that the world's smallest violin playing "My Heart Goes Out for You"?
Yep.
Yeah, I have. Why?
So Wade's tried to help me find some jobs in my area and stuff. But if anybody has any friends in the basic central North Carolina area that's hiring, give me a shout. I need a job. Got to feed my family. And I'm fat. I got to feed myself too, you know.
So there was a place up here. Oh, hell, what was the name of it? I'm going to have to search it real quick.
So, Adam, how's things going with the reboot of the show, buddy?
So far, so good. We got a long way to go, though, you know.
I've been watching. I just kind of sit back and I don't really chat that much, but I've been watching and I like it so far.
It's rough starting from zero subscribers, 0 views, you know.
You're telling me. I mean, you know,
we're back down with the little people here.
I'm going to have to, if I could actually get some work, I might be able to record another fuse changing video and get a couple hundred subscriptions from it.
Yeah. No, that was, it was, to be honest, it was very upsetting when we left Shop Talk.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. But I mean, I believe you guys have it in you to do very well. And I mean, look, you've already passed me.
Well,
so that's doing pretty good.
I'm just happy that I learned how to use this, all the software and everything. Because honestly, when we said we set a date for the first show, I had no clue how to use it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sitting here for like hours on end. My biggest problem was trying to capture what was going on in the computer and send that out to the broadcast. Not the audio, not the video. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't capturing any of the audio, just my own.
Right.
So
I'm going to have to. This other dog is not going. Me and it's not going to get along here tonight. Hey, you stop.
You just point at your dog and say, "Hey, you stop."
She better listen.
Did it turn around and look at you and go, "I'm real sorry about that. Let me just go over here."
Yes, she did. She did turn a little.
Sorry, I'm done. I was just adding sounds to this thing. So,
Adam, I actually am completely set up, and well, I know how to use OBS, but I'm completely set up for it. I'm just a little too scared to actually take the plunge. I've set 2 computers up, one to broadcast to the other computer that actually does the broadcasting online, kind of basically like Zach has his set up.
yeah, I just did it multiple times and set it up to a private broadcast, so it's not displayed.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about to actually do the broadcast. I have one computer that I broadcast from to the secondary computer that actually sends the broadcast out on the internet, and it takes the load off of the computer that you're actually on using, because that's where we had the lag before, is that the computer that you're setting on, you've got everything open on, you've got all that stuff up. And when you start the broadcast, it creates a huge load on the processor, and that's how you get the video lag. I've solved every bit of that. I mean, I watched the videos, probably the same videos that Zach watched, and got it working.
I'm not sure. I'm just using split monitors. I have one. I have like a incredible now. I have a Mac, which I'm just learning how to use. I've had it for like 6 months now. Had no clue how to use it. Just figuring it out right now for the first time. But this thing has a monster processor, so I haven't had an issue with it yet. But the laptop, that thing was like taxing, dude. The thing was like smoking hot when I was trying to use OBS and broadcast and everything before,
All right, I got that way.
When you're doing
I got some stuff in your area, so.
Oh,
okay.
Nice.
I see my wife spinal. Forrest, I haven't tried to get hooked up with any of these warranty companies or anything, and I mean, to be honest with you, when you work for them, you kind of get a bad name from them,
When I owned my company, I worked with a bunch, and God, I hated every minute of it, but it was a necessity. I mean, I went to one house one time, and literally the compressor the bottom of the condenser had just rusted out. The compressor was sitting on the dirt, and their first question was, "Does it still run?" Well,
yeah,
it does. Then we ain't fixing it. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And Cindy, the answer to your question is yes. That was her whining at me because I paid attention to her, and she thinks that I'm going to let her out so she can come over here and unplug my computer. It's my son's dog and everything. She's still basically a big pup and gets on my nerves very badly, but she's not a bad dog. But yeah, it's really hard, for a company starting out, and you don't have a lot of money to pay for advertisements, and you're basically, I'm a stranger to this area. I've only been here for a few years, so I don't really know a lot of people, and so it's harder to get your name out there.
That's what you're trying to do right now? Start your own company?
Well, I've had it, Adam.
I know you've had it, but I'm just saying, is that your like push right now? Is to just do that?
I've been pushing really hard for it. I mean, if I could get up and go on where I had a steady work, that would be fine. Be fine with me. Yeah, I could work for myself. Want to invest into a company, Adam?
I wish I could invest in my own right now with this freaking 40, 50 degree winter. It's not helping anything,
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we know all about it. How about you there, Kristen? How's your company? Has it been very busy?
Mainly with PMs, not a lot of service calls.
Yeah.
But it's a larger company, so we stay fairly busy with just catching up on PMs that people for years haven't either scheduled or just ones that normally do
Yeah, that's
Not a
me
lot of
when
service calls.
I was working for this other company. That's all had been doing for the last several weeks was just service calls. I mean, not service calls, it's maintenances and stuff.
Mhm.
I mean, even
Every now
And
which is a rarity.
Oh, what is this today? Isaiah just sent me a text message.
Mhm.
So he recently fell off a ladder.
Yeah, he messaged me. Yeah,
Did he tell you that?
yeah.
He doesn't remember how high up he was, but I guess he knocked himself out, and I don't know if the ladder fell on top of him or what. And yeah,
Yeah, well, he messaged me. I thought he told me that the ladder fell on him, but I didn't know he was actually on the ladder.
yeah. Well, yeah, he's all right though. The ladder has a dent in it.
Is the ladder okay?
Yeah.
That's the question, Isaiah. Is the ladder okay?
He's got a hard head.
Well, I think it's happened to us all. I know it happened to Mike.
Yeah, the ladder fell. I actually was it the week before I lost my job there. Actually, we'd been on the roof. We had the ladder tied off. We came back down, was loading up the vans and stuff. I had a partner that day. We had 2 vans there, and we had untied the ladder before we came down. And I'm standing out there, and I'm on the phone with a friend of mine standing at the front of my van. And a little gust of wind came, and the ladder came straight off, and boom. And I mean, it wasn't 4 inches from taking out the windshield of my van. I don't know how it didn't take the mirror off of the van. Everybody gave me shit. Well, you should have tied the ladder off. Well, damn it, it was tied off. We untied it because we were done.
Yep.
And the sad thing is the other guy. He's like, I'm gonna take that ladder down. I said, well, give it a minute. I'll get it down. And yeah, I got it down.
that's why I don't like ladders.
Yeah. Well, this was a 28-foot ladder. So, but now, Kristen, I seen you had a little thing with ladders there. You had to fix a seen you posted a picture on Facebook.
Yeah, I had to get on one for fixing a flue pipe on a furnace that was pretty high up in the air. But I don't like ladders.
We had so there was a guy that used to work for my dad, and while he worked there, he refused to go on ladders because he was on a roof one day, and there was a guy he was working with, and the ladder fell, and the dude got hurt bad, I guess, and he was stuck on the roof. He couldn't get down, and he didn't have a cell phone or anything. So ever since then, he's been afraid of ladders. So, like whenever we mentioned something involving a ladder, he's like, "Oh no, not doing it, not doing a ladder." And my cousin worked for my dad in the office, and she's like, Dan, I shouldn't have said his name, but too late now. She said, Dan, I was thinking of a costume I can come in as to shake you up and scare you. And she's like, I think I'm going to dress up as a ladder for Halloween.
Some of y'all. So we regularly are on 80 and 120 foot articulating lifts.
That's freaky.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't mind the lifts too much though.
Yeah, but the reason why the lifts bother me is because like you move just a hair, and the higher up you are, the worse the thing like shakes. You know?
Oh yeah, I've been on them. I mean, but I still can deal with the lift a whole lot better than the ladder.
We have some guys that so everybody's got apprentices, everybody's got rookies. You put one of those on there, though, you got some guys that'll get up about 40 feet off the ground. They'll sit down in the basket, pretty much piss themselves. They ain't moving. They ain't looking. They ain't doing nothing till you bring them back down.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it more than 40 feet. Once you get above, I'm like, yeah, that's all right. No, thank you.
Yeah, I watched a guy. I was on a service call here. It was probably about 4 months ago, and was working on a lady's oil furnace. And I show up at her house, and she her husband had passed, and she was standing out at the corner of the house, just kind of peeking around the house. And I pull up into her backyard. That's where she told me to pull. And I got out of the van. I was like, "Ma'am," I said, "What are you looking at?" She's like, "I got some tree guys up there cutting down my husband's tree." And I said, "Okay." She's like, "My husband planted that tree like 40 years ago." She's like, "And I can barely stand to watch them." I was like, "Okay, well, I'm thinking we'll just go inside then." But anyways, they were out there in one of those lifts, and that dude took it up as high as it would go and was up there taking pictures of everything. And that sucker was up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was really up there. But he cuts trees for a living. He don't give a shit. So,
I mean, the funny thing is, you go through all these safety and everything else. You got to be tied off on them and in harnesses and everything else. We like to give our safety people shit because if the thing ever does fall over, the only reason you're tied to a harness is so it can throw you to the ground too.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's like a catapult that doesn't let go of the boulder.
Yep. Now, I have seen people put them in rabbit mode and hit a bump and get thrown out of them. That is funny. I'm here to tell you. It's funny because they didn't get hurt because they had their harness on them and they're sitting there dangling. And it's usually about 3 or 4 feet above the ground. Their feet just dangling like that.
So, yeah. So, Adam, you say it's been really dead up in Chicago, huh? I figured as north as you are, man, it would be still pretty busy up there.
Oh, no, it's awful right now. That's cool.
I know this dog, I tell you what, keep making noise. I should have stuck the dog outside or something but my dog is in heat. Okay. So I just can't tie her up outside because the neighbors have this black pit bulldog that knows she's in heat. And, so I've got to watch them.
Every dog in the neighborhood knows she's in heat.
Every dog. Yeah. I walked out the basement door yesterday when there was a big old Walker hound out there with the nose right on the ground. I'm like, yeah, just keep them moving, big boy.
So, Kristen, you seen anything interesting lately with oil?
With oil? Not really.
Ode to number 2?
Yeah. Had to get some diesel today, but got it.
Some diesel
for an empty fuel tank.
Kristen, you ought to maybe start. It's an idea, okay? Like those jet heaters that people use in their garages and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
On the side, maybe you ought to think about posting on Facebook. You fix those and stuff. I mean, because they're basically an oil furnace, is all they are.
I work on those and gas and oil and heat pumps and fireplaces and everything.
Yeah, I used to fix those jet heaters too. Like in West Virginia, where I'm from, nobody works on them. I mean, because I had one, I had to learn myself how to work on them. But then once I realized what they were, I was like, well, it ain't no big deal, But but nobody up there. I had actually 2 that were broke, and I took them around town looking for someone that fixes them. Nobody worked on them. I'm like, shit. I mean, so I fixed it myself. Once I realized it was like a oil furnace, I'm like, well, shoot, this isn't nothing. I mean, this is simple.
Man, the company I work for, if it heats, if it cools, if it does anything of that nature, if it runs off of oil or propane, we work on all of it. They don't turn anything down.
See, I'm not the only one that has a dog. Is that your other dog? Because I don't see the one you're petting a dog, right?
Mm-hmm. I only have one. Just this one. Swedes.
All is wet. They all have dog issues except Adam.
No,
Adam, do you have a pet?
no dogs in my house.
Adam never found a dog that liked him.
Yep. That is true.
I was telling Adam that, well, you and Wade probably know my little dog that I had for 11 years. The one from time to time that I would hold up, be petting it and stuff. He passed away last week. It's been pretty rough.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I went today and picked up his ashes. I had him cremated.
No.
It's
How much does that cost to have them cremated?
it cost me $90, but which he only weighed like 4 pounds. So I think they go by like the poundage on that and stuff. It's like buying hamburger meat or something.
Could have done it for $10 and
Well, I mean, I have a torch, and
it's in your backyard, some lighter fluid, gasoline. You got it done.
Oh, it would smell awful.
Oh yeah, it would. I didn't have the heart to bury him. I honestly didn't have the heart to bury him, so I really couldn't afford to have him cremated. That was $90 that could have went towards something else. But I mean, what are you going to do? It's one of your loved ones, If your sister dies or brother dies or something like that, which mine, if they died, I wouldn't really give a shit. But if one of your family members died, you wouldn't say, well, I ain't got the money to do this, so just take him out and bury him in a hole in the backyard. Plus, when I'm gone, my wife, she has instructions what to do with my ashes. So now she has instructions to take him with me.
Oh.
So was it To the End, Bad Boys for Life? Anybody watch that new Bad Boys movie?
No.
Not the new one.
It's pretty good. I watched one of those pirated copies of it last night, and it was pretty good. Yeah, I support pirated videos.
Are you downloading them?
I know I don't download them.
That's extra illegal.
Yeah, it is extra illegal. Cindy, I'm glad you're selling your GoPro display case. Well, I'll tell you what, Isaiah, I've got a couple GoPros too. This one actually right here is a John Israel edition. If anybody's wanting to buy it, I will sell this. This one is directly from John Israel. I mean, I can autograph it for him if you want me to. But Israel HVAC, this GoPro right here actually filmed some of his videos.
That is true. I'll vouch for him.
It is true. Yep. You can sign the certificate of authentication there.
Well,
AT Madam, certify this.
Yeah. But then I went to, because I support pirated videos. So I went to this little app called Wish, and I bought this camera, which is 4K, for like $17. And it makes just as good videos as that $300 and some GoPro right there.
Well, good luck selling the GoPro now that you just told everyone they could buy it.
I didn't say how much I was going to sell it for, Adam.
Oh.
I just said I bought this one for $17. Somebody give me $16.99. I'll probably sell you that one.
Wish is a funny thing. Anybody ever notice? All right, so anybody ever notice those Wish ads that come up across Facebook and things like that?
Some of the crazy things on them.
All the crazy things. Like, I never looked up anything even close to this, but here it is. Yeah, Wish is an entertaining place.
Yeah.
So what?
You know what?
It's just like
You can buy a lot of HVAC stuff on there. Go ahead, Adam. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying, is that just like they sell everything type of place?
Yeah, it's kind of like an eBay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's supposed
yeah.
to be like a discounted
Yeah.
merchandise app.
Yeah, you
it's
go
like
buy a large shirt on there, and it comes in like two different sizes, like sewn together.
If you buy a small shirt, you know, you can get that extra small or extra medium. If you get a medium shirt, it's going to be extra medium. It's like a Chinese version of Amazon.
It's definitely the knockoff version of something.
Yeah. It's exactly what Trump was fighting against. It's really crappy though. I mean, honestly, you get all this stuff. These people have worked really hard to have all these inventions and stuff. I mean, well, we'll take the GoPros for example. Okay, this GoPro, it's licensed, it's trademarked, it's all registered and everything. And the Chinese get a hold of the idea, and they buy one, and so they make their own version of it. So this one here comes with video screen. This one doesn't. You have to pay extra for the video screen. I mean, are they as good as one another? Probably not. But they'll work if you're poor. So I turned this one on by accident. One thing I did notice that the Chinese knockoff, you can hook it to your computer and use it as a webcam. And the GoPro, you can't. So... It's actually a pretty good webcam if you hook it up.
Until it bursts into flames.
Yeah, until it burns your house down because you left it plugged in overnight or something.
So I got a funny story about Chinese reverse engineering things.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone ever heard of a portable dehumidifier called, I think it's Solus Air? They had them at Home Depot for a long time. It's like SOLUS Air. No. Anyway, I got called by this. It was just a random dude that called me, and he's like, "Can you fix a dehumidifier?" And I said, "Yeah. What kind is it?" He's like, "Just one of these little portable ones." I'm like, "No, throw it out. Go buy a new one." And then he's like, "No, I really need this fixed." I'm like, "I'm telling you, it's not worth your time, my time or your time. Just buy a new one." We were going back and forth. He's like, "Listen, I don't care what it costs. I need to know what's wrong with this one." I'm like, "All right, dude." So I go out there. He gives me the address, and turns out it's this mechanical engineering place. And I go there, and they're like, "Can you figure out why this is not working?" They're like, "It's out of refrigerant, but we can't figure out why." And we had a couple other people come in, and they can't figure out why. They know it's leaking, but they can't pinpoint where. I'm like, oh yeah. So I pump a whole freaking thing of dye. First I use a piercing valve, braze on a new valve, recharge it, pump a whole thing of dye in there, and you can see right where it's coming out, right where the leak is at. And they have this microscope camera, and they're taking pictures of it and everything. And they're like, "Can we do more of these?" So they pull like 10 more out of the back, and I just keep doing them. They're like, "Can you come back another day?" Yeah. And then the next day is like, "We're going to have these guys from China come in. Can you come back then?" I'm like, "Dude, if you want to put a bedroom here, I'll just freaking live here. If you're paying me my hourly rate, I don't care." So these guys from China come in. They don't speak any English. They're like the dudes from the manufacturer. And we're working on them, and they had two issues. The one was the leak, and another one, certain units were catching fire. So these guys were like huddled over the bench, like getting all up in this thing's business. And one of them turned on the switch on one of them, and this thing freaking blew, and there was like a flame that came up. And you should have saw these little Chinese guys like fall down on the ground, and they're like screaming. I'm on the other side of the room. I'm laughing my ass off looking at them.
$200 Home Depot dehumidifiers.
Or did they pay well? I
was charging them $150 an hour just to sit there messing around with these little things. Honestly, I probably had 3 days complete of like just sitting there playing with these stupid things on a bench.
Well, if they need any more help, I know that you're a busy man. Just call me. I'll tell them to fly me, and I'm an expert. Tell them I know an expert. You'll have to. He's going to charge you $300 an hour, but and you'll have to fly him in. and he can record it on his Chinese GoPro.
They could probably tell you how to use it.
Yeah, they probably could. Well, what's happening, Clint? I remember you when that happened, Adam. You was actually, I think we were actually on John's show when that went down. Yeah.
I'm trying to find. I can't find it anywhere. Gil was saying last night on our show that at AHR they had this guy there that had like wearable robotic arms.
Wow.
You could like hold stuff and lift stuff that you wear, and I can't find him anywhere. I thought it's a cool idea. I wonder how much you could lift with them.
I don't know, but I'm getting ready to throw like this 11-1 at this dog. Shut up.
All right, so I got a question for you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
So, why die?
Because it's like a very, where'd I go? It's such a small coil and everything, and you stick a leak detector in there, you know, it's just going to go off immediately. And I was just trying to pinpoint it, and they wanted to visualize it, so I just pumped the dye right in. I have an H10. H10, you know, you can find it right away. They want to see what's leaking, why it's leaking, and you should have saw this. They pulled this thing up on a big screen, and you could actually see it's like little micro cracks in the copper where it was leaking at. So I don't know.
Do you use dye normally?
No, I freaking hate dye.
Okay, I was going to say.
I absolutely hate dye.
We have a special guest. Everybody meet Puss in Boots.
He's been watching too. He's been sitting over on the other side of the couch watching.
He was like eyeballing Adam. Adam's all moving this way while he's talking, and this cat is.
Boots.
So yeah, I mean, I agree, Adam. I would have used probably dye in the system too.
I freaking dude, if you was that last week or 2 weeks ago? I don't remember when it was, but one of the shows I told a story about how I freaking blew up dye in my face one time. Dude, that was
Hey guys, I'll be right back, okay? If you don't mind, hold down the fort for me.
all right. What should we say about him now that he's gone?
I'm still here, fuck.
He's got to go take care of his
Care the dog.
It's taking too long here.
Yeah, no. When I hook my gauges to a unit and I pull them off and they're full of dye, I just want to punch a motherfucker.
Yeah, I hate dye. Well.
Was that
He
Boots?
looked
or
away
Adam?
for that. That was Adam.
Where's your dog, Mark?
We're not going to talk about that.
Doesn't involve
Just as long as you don't start eating Chinese.
I took her out. She's out for a walk right now.
She took herself out for a walk.
She took herself out for a walk.
Leak sealer is never okay to use HVAC with Jaja Zest or whatever the hell your name is.
Yeah, don't use leak sealer.
Yeah.
But you know, one of the additives that I have found that I like, and I've used it several times, is that AC Renew. Have any of you ever used that?
AC Renew is that's the stuff you're supposed to be using when you have a plugged up TXV, right?
Yeah, when you have a TXV that's sticking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The bull.
And you know, 9.5 times out of 10 that I've used it, it's worked.
One of the guys I work with has used it a bunch, and he likes it.
Yeah, yeah. And the reason I say 9.5 because one of the calls I didn't go back to.
Let me ask you a question. All right, so in our standard refrigeration cycle, we pick up and carry refrigerant oil through the entire system, right?
Yep.
No, we don't. The Freon does.
Okay, I'll go with that. So if the system was installed cleanly and correctly, is there any reason for the TXV to stick other than failing?
The additive that they had in the compressor for a couple of years, the oil additive, that was like across the board. Every residential company ran into it.
Okay.
So that's why they gave you, that was like a bulletin because they didn't want to pay for a TXV. So they said, try this stuff before you replace the TXV.
Yeah, because all of our TXVs are rebuildable. We just pump it down and pull them out and clean them, put them back in.
The problem is, though, so if you do something like that and you actually, the oil additive caused the TXV to go bad, it's going to happen again. It's going to stick again. So you need something like a little bit more slippery doodah in that TXV to keep it lubed up, you know?
Actually, Train actually had their own version of that. And if Ted was here, he could tell you the model number, the serial number, who made it, and what year it came out.
Right.
But Train actually had their own version of that they were given to use in some of their systems there. What system was that? Do you remember, Adam?
What's that?
That Train.
I mean, anything that had a TXV that had the compressor within a date span or whatever. It's not just one unit. There's like all kinds of units that were having the issue.
No, I'm pretty sure Ted said that they had like a service bulletin out there, and Train, their fix was they give them this can of that stuff.
Right, but it wasn't just one unit that had the issue. It was like a date code of like a group of different models that were made in that time frame, you know?
Right.
Yeah, we didn't experience it that much over on the commercial side. I mean, we have TXVs that fail all the time, but not sticking.
Well, a lot of your residential your residential TXVs are a lot different than some of your commercial ones. I found that a lot too. Back when I was working for the school system, you know.
Well, yeah, we just tear ours down and rebuild them. Clear the screens, new cartridge, springs, gaskets, whatever. New head, bodies.
Yeah.
You know?
I always said, why can't they put like TXVs on these residential systems like they have like in refrigeration and stuff where you can screw the power head off of it and put a new power head on?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's that extra 5 cents that have to charge $500 for.
No shit.
Yeah. That is true. There's a lot of things I wish I could change in residential, you know?
Well, Adam, you should design your own damn system, man. The A-Team Adam Infinity system.
By the time it's done and I have one of them built, it's going to cost somebody $30,000 for it, you know?
So that's an interesting story. We have a company out here, James River, and so to step back a second, you know, Sears, they have you take the tags off of their equipment and put Kenmore on it. So this company, James River, out here, they had their own brand of equipment, the James River Select. So they just bought other people's stuff, pulled the sticker off, and put their sticker on. Well, they ended up going to court, and they ended up losing. And the manufacturer, I forget who it was, they had to get half of their profits for like as long as they were selling the equipment. So the owner, Hugh, he put out this commercial where he was doing a half off sale and started cutting them in half with a chainsaw on the commercial, selling them for zero profit to fuck the manufacturer.
Nice. There was a company that was a Train dealer by me, and you could buy a Train Comfort Specialist tag, like a nice, like embossed badge to put on the side of the unit, like on one of the posts, the corner posts. And he was going around because it says your name on it, the company name, the phone number, and it will say trained comfort specialist on it. But he was going around on all of his service calls and putting them on like Goodman units and Yorks and crap like that too. They took his dealership from him. They wouldn't let him sell Train anymore.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, they didn't want to be associated with that crap.
Yeah.
Actually, interesting story. Adam actually shot a video long before his most recent YouTube days, and Train actually stole it from Adam and used it in one of their commercials.
True.
True story.
True story. Which they didn't. They offered to pay me at first, and they're like, "We'll get back to you." Because I'm like, "How much?" And I was gonna be like, $500. I don't care. Whatever. It's cool, you know. And we'll get back to you. And a year later, there it was, and I got nothing. So that's why I don't sell Train anymore. One of the reasons.
Mm.
What was it that you
really dropped in quality too?
Yeah, I mean, I don't like they got away from the real crappy compressors they were starting to put into their residential units. You know, I think they were LG or something like that. Now they're doing what's the newer one? It's orange again, but it's not Train. Is it a?
We've been seeing a lot of Dan bosses.
Yeah, I don't know, but they've definitely come down in their quality for sure.
Maybe we should call in an expert, Adam.
Ted,
You could always call Ted.
bring him in.
He was in here on my last show, and I asked him to leave. You can call him and ask him.
Yeah, Carrier as well. Carrier's gotten bad, and so is Train. I know on the commercial sides, they've just gotten real bad. And ever since York was bought by JCI, they're just fucking paperweights.
You know, I like Carrier though. And the ICP. I mean, that's what I install with my own company. I install ICP and TempStar, and I like both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I have put in so many York systems like after Johnson Controls bought them out, and we had so many issues, like ridiculous. I can't even tell you how many issues. So finally I convinced my dad, let's not do this anymore. You know, maybe 2 years before he sold the company, and so we were done with it. And this dude from York has been blowing me up lately, like trying to get me to sell York. And he's like, you know, I know when you were back working at your dad's company, I heard you had some issues over there. Because he gets my dad on the phone, and he's like, why won't your son talk to me? He's like, I don't know if he's ever going to talk to you. So this guy called me up, and he's like, can you please just try York? Just try it. He's like, we'll give you any complete system you want for free. You pick anything you want, you could have it for free. Try it out, your house or anyone else's house. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's not going to be at my house, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no, we deal with a lot of the big commercial and all that. And when when JCI bought out York, perfect example, we dropped 40 of them on a roof. And JCI was the control contractors. And guess who can't communicate with a York JCI unit?
Well, probably because you dropped them on the roof.
Yeah. So that was the dumbest conversation I have ever been in my life, sitting around with the GC and everybody else. And he goes, yeah, we can't talk to that equipment. And I looked at him and said, huh?
Give a big shout out to Bill. He just subscribed to my channel.
I got a question here.
Yeah.
The Daikin Fit. I'm not sure what that is. I'm wondering if he's talking about the new evaporator coils that you can tie into. I think that's how it works. You tie it into like a secondary, like a mini split head or something like that.
Mm.
Or there's a T on it or something. I know you could you do like 2 zones with a regular conventional split.
I don't know. Only thing Daikin I've ever worked on has been like a big ass chiller.
They're not, which I've been doing a lot of Amana, they're not going to offer. Well, so they have told me they're not offering that. It's a Daikin only product.
Looks like a
Essentially like a mini
inverter
split.
type outdoor unit that can be hooked to different types of indoor units.
So it's just like a multi-split unit.
I
could be-
manufacturer's info. It can hook to regular coils, their coils, of course, multi-positional air handlers, things like that, and it's just a standard little inverter outdoor unit, like a mini split type. I mean, it's interesting. It's a lot like the Train. Train does the same thing. Train's got one of those.
Yeah, my computer is laggy for some reason. Hoopty HVAC. What's happening, Hoopty?
Oh man, they went to that inverter board cooled by a refrigerant circuit. Yeah.
So it's a multi-zone.
Yeah.
Mm.
They have it with regular. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting.
You know what? I have an experiment. I have all the crap sitting in my garage, and I haven't gone through with it. I should probably start working on it now that I'm slow. But it's gambling. I'm a little bit nervous on screwing something up because I have an expensive condenser outside. But I have a furnace and a coil in my garage. Never tied the coil to anything, and I'm always out in the garage in the summertime. It's hot as hell. So what I was thinking about doing is running a separate thermostat in my garage, and then running the wires down, running a line set, teeing off the actual line set downstairs, and then running that up to the coil here, using 3/8 solenoid valves on both sides. If both are calling, allow both of them to come on. If the one is calling, only allow the first stage condenser to kick on. It's a 3-ton outside. I have a 1.5-ton coil. Allow the first stage to come on, and leave the fan off downstairs if it's just the one zone on. So basically, have 2 indoor coils, 1 condenser outside. I mean,
you can do it as long as you got the compression ratio for it. Is it an inverter?
Pressure ratio. The biggest thing. No, it's a 2-stage. One thing I was a little bit worried about is oil return. That's my concern. But if I do the math on the lines, because there's not that much extra line set, I don't think it'll be all that bad. But you do have oil sitting in the lines in your off cycle. So I don't know.
Adam, I have a brilliant idea, and I'm sure that Wade and Kristen would agree with me. York said they would give you a system. Put it in your garage.
Yeah.
I
The biggest piece of shit you've ever had.
No York I'm putting in my house after all these 300 pin coils I've replaced.
It's not in your house,
Garage.
man. I mean,
Good. I don't want
and
to.
you can tell after you put it in, say it wasn't fit to put in a house. I stuck it in my garage.
So you put it in your garage, spray painted it pink.
Yeah,
I painted the compressor orange and I'm calling it a train.
Send them a picture with new train stickers on it. I fixed it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But then the guy's going to keep calling me. He's like, dude, we gave you that expensive system.
yeah, but it wasn't worth shit, man. It doesn't even want to work right in my garage. I can't put these shit in people's houses. It's free. I mean, shit. Send them to me. Tell them to call me. I'll take any damn free.
We'll do a review on it. Biggest piece of shit.
Well, back when I don't know if it was when we were with Zach or when we were with John, but the guy started calling me back then. And he's like, I just want to meet with you. I just want to meet with you. And I was going to tell him, because, all these guys that we talk with hate York. And I was going to say, listen, you could meet with me under one condition. You got to come on our show for a half an hour and talk about York.
Yeah.
Throw him to the freaking wolves.
If you can survive, we'll talk.
I don't know if it survived or not.
Mm-mm.
Yuck.
Although Dennis, Superior HVAC or whatever, heating and air conditioning, he loves York.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, would you like to come on? If you're still there? I'll send him an invite.
I love that name, Hoopty HVAC. I'm seeing so many things in my head right now.
Why my chat's not moving? I have to keep clicking new comments.
It's really laggy for some reason.
I just went to the YouTube channel, popped the comments out, and have them sitting on the side. Halfway through a bowl of chili.
Must be a slow bowl of chili.
Right?
Has to take his time.
Well, I sent you an invite anyways, man.
No, it's not a heat pump, Hoopty. It's just a regular
I love that. Hoopty HVAC.
Bill, I'm absolutely not going to commit to it, but I am going to try. It's, with everything that's going on right now, man, it's really hard because I might say that I'm having a show on Saturday, and evidently something happens and I have to take off and go to West Virginia, and I don't want to do a show sitting from my mother-in-law's dining room table.
Chicken.
I have done a show sitting from there.
Yeah, you have, and then you yelled at us for MF and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely don't invite me on those nights.
I did one on the beach, sitting out on the porch at the beach. Yeah. Yeah, with or without beans there, Bill.
Oh, I got one for you. So I had to go down to one of our big data centers this week because the commissioning agent kept stating that the equipment wasn't working, that they couldn't get it to temp. So I had to go down there and look at it. I'm watching him test this equipment, and this is a full-fledged engineer, been doing this for years, the whole 9 yards, and I'm watching him, and he's standing on the ground, and he's aiming about 10, 15 feet up in the air at the vent with an infrared thermometer and keeps saying, see, it's not getting to temp. And I had to explain to him how an infrared thermometer works, and you should have seen the dull, blank look on his face when he realized that he did not know how to use an infrared thermometer. So,
really,
for those of you who aren't aware that are on the feed, it has a cone. So, and usually they're 1 to 12, which means for every foot you are away from the object, it's a 12-inch round diameter averaging area that it's taking. So if you're 10 feet away from the object, it's a 120-inch diameter. Now, if the grill is 4x6, for example, which it was larger in this case, but if it's 4x6 in this example, you're going to get the ceiling, the wall, whatever else, and everything else around it, and it's going to because it takes a surface temperature. It doesn't take an air temperature. So we took our standard little pocket thermometer and put it up in the grill and proved to him that his big scientific, expensive infrared didn't work worth shit at 10 feet away. You should have seen the look on his face.
I heard, I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard those also don't work well on like shiny surfaces, like metallic, like a copper or like shiny galvanized or whatever.
Shiny or dark.
Yeah.
Yep, they work best on matte surfaces, and that's it. Like I've had apprentices sit there and shoot them at a copper line and tell me that they can do subcooling or superheat with them, and I'm like, no, you can't. No, you can't. So,
Yeah, I have one. Now batteries in it.
mhm. It's good if you understand it, if you understand what it's for, but it's not meant for technical, detailed proof.
I just don't know. Like, I have never found a use for it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I think one time I was trying to. The last time I used it was actually this great room with vaulted ceilings, and he had a hard time heating it. So this is before I bought my thermal imaging camera. I was like shooting the walls in different spots and trying
That's
to see like
for general information.
yeah. But after I got the thermal imager, I don't think I've used that since. It's been 2.5 years, maybe.
Am I wrong? But is that actually that's soup that Bill's eating, right? You don't put corn and veggies and cilantro in chili. Normally, you put that in like soup, right? Am I wrong?
I've had people make it with like carrots, but I've
had corn before, but not other veggies.
Onions are a must. Onions, cheese, yeah,
Meat.
meat.
Bill, I got a whole freezer full of venison in here, man.
Mike picks up the dead deers on the road.
I do. Roadkill.
Roadkill Cafe.
Yeah, I should make the name Roadkill HVAC.
Actually, Bill's got funny stories about roadkill.
He won't come on.
He's still eating his chili.
That's a good
Actually,
idea.
I think
It's still not accurate, but it would be better.
If you're gonna wrap tape around it, just use a K-type.
Right?
Just do it. You know?
Yeah, just use a K-type with some Velcro and call it done.
Right.
Yeah. It's like Cindy said. It's like most things. The equipment's as good as the technician using it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys checked out? Did you see Jim Bergman's video on that Sensi Predict?
On what?
The new
Yes,
Predict.
Yes, I did.
It looks like I don't know. Like I want to say it's around $600 or $700, something around that range. You're supposed to install it on new equipment that you have commissioned properly, and it's perfectly. You know what I mean? You're like, this is a perfect running system now, and you commission it, and you basically benchmark it and measure quick, and then you wire in all this stuff on the outdoor unit, and then you wire in all this stuff on the indoor, and it connects to the internet, and it will let the homeowner know and let you as a contractor know before a problem happens. Like, hey, we're getting low on airflow, or hey, like, we're starting to draw higher amps on the condenser outside. You need service. Like, you're gonna go into a no cooling situation. So it lets you know before the issue happens, which is pretty cool.
That's neat.
We use it a lot in the commercial, the predictive maintenance.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those programs that do that. They'll send out an email and say, hey, there might be a problem with this unit on the roof, things like that. Customers pay a lot of big money to have that for monitoring fees and things like that. Residential world, I don't see why it wouldn't work. I mean, might be a little overkill, but hey, go for it.
The thing is, though, if the price tag's like $700-800, and there's like a bazillion wires on the thing, because there's all kinds of sensors, probes, you're tying into electric to monitor power factor, amperage, all this other stuff, blah blah blah. There's a lot of work installing it. It's not like you're just plugging it in. You're wiring all this crap in. So if you're paying $700 or $800 for it, how much are you gonna charge? And then you're like, okay, well, even if you're charging $1,500-1,600 or something along those lines, I don't know how much you would charge for it. But just saying, you add that to the top, on top of a price of a new system. And if someone's buying that, they're most likely buying a high-end system. So I don't know. You're building it up.
I should get one of those and put it on my. I should get one of those and put it on my Goodman system, man. I mean, because it's primo.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. seriously, man, I've got one of the best damn Goodman package units that I've ever seen in my life. This thing, you would not believe how it performs. I mean, and I talk shit about Goodmans, and I've walked straight up to customers and said, "Your system's shit. It's Goodman." But
And it's
I
forever
actually
organic junk.
I have a 3-ton package unit on my house that was on here before I bought it, and this thing is, knock on wood, this thing is the cat's meow. It works great. Works real good. My house, dude, in the summertime, it could be 100 degrees outside. You walk in my house, it's 74 degrees, and you feel like you just walked into a freaking meat locker. And Cindy's on here. She'll tell you it's true. You walk into the house, and it feels like it's colder than shit. You're looking for a sweater.
Is Cindy your girlfriend or your wife?
Cindy. Okay, yeah, that's my wife there.
Oh, okay.
She said the other Cindy's the girlfriend.
Well,
Depends on which scent.
the one with the green picture thing is my girlfriend. The pink one is my wife.
Oh, okay.
Not Forrest down there. I'm sorry, Forrest.
I was going to say Forrest.
Forrest, not Forrest. I had to look there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oopty, I know. Watch it fail tonight.
Tomorrow morning he's going to be back on here. Son of a bitch.
So did your wife get into the field, Mike?
She's taking care of her father right now. We'll just have to see what happens after he gets better.
Where did she leave off with it?
She's finished.
Oh, she's done with it?
Yeah, she's got her schooling.
You got to start a company, Mike and Cindy HVAC.
Yeah.
You mean
Mom
Cindy
Pop.
and Mike HVAC?
MC.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If Cindy is
HVAC.
first and Cindy's the primary, Cindy can get the women-owned businesses and the minority business work and all that from the county, city, state, and federal government.
Well,
Mike
I was going to transfer everything over into Cindy's name when I was working for that other company, but still may do that so we can get all that stuff.
Yeah, you'll get a lot of minority stuff if you have it in her name.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Mm-hmm. We work with a lot of companies like that. A lot of government contracts and a lot of like city, state, and all that has a set aside where even if, like us, a big contractor gets a job, you have to have X percentage in women or minority owned companies and assistants. So, for example, sometimes we'll, depending on the job, we'll give the person the job and we'll man the job for them. So literally it'd be like Kristen owning the company and having nobody that works for her. She wins the job and we just do the work.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, by the way, not to change the subject, Wade, but we was talking about Cindy's training.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy actually got the second highest score in the whole class.
Oh.
And she only got beat out to a guy that doesn't even intend on going into the HVAC field. He took the class with his son just so they could take it together. And he's like an electrician and all this stuff. So he knew some of this stuff to start out with. But that goes to say a lot.
Yeah.
But I now have all my tools back. Like we had to raid my tool bag to fix her up a tool set to take.
You didn't give her the Harbor Freight set?
Hell no, man. She had the good stuff. I even gave her my Milwaukee wire strippers and stuff.
Oh.
That must mean I love her because those things are my favorite. And I let her use my stick meter. So
I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that either.
I'd be like, where's that bucket of junk of tools I have in the garage?
You get the helper's tool
Damn
bag.
stuff.
That's the way I learned. I had shitty tools in the beginning. You're gonna learn shitty tools. That's the way it works.
I have that. I have that field piece SC 640 meter, and then I have that HS 36, and I prefer the HS 36.
Yeah, no, you should give her the helper bag. You know, the one that's got the beat up, busted tools that you spray painted a weird color to make your helper go by his own. That's the bag
Yeah.
to give her.
Oh, Adam, I finally got me a Vito Pro Pack, man.
What, the backpack?
No, I got the little one, the little handbag that has the handle goes across the top of it. And stuff. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, can't be Vito.
Vito's damn good.
I stuck me a zip tie on my meter bag on the hand on the little like belt loop holder, and clipped it onto the side of my bag, and then my little M12 clips onto the other side. I can just carry it all at one time. Works really nice.
Yep. We were we found that I think it's called velocity bags. People were calling them Vito killers. We sent a couple emails and tried to get sponsored by them.
Oh, okay.
Never responded back. Stopped talking about them. So Vitos are back to being the best tool bag.
Yeah. What's happening, Hooser?
Those bags look fun. They look cheap.
What's that, velocity?
Yeah. They look exactly like Vitos. They're the knockoff Vitos.
They are. Oh, but they seriously look like they tried to copy them, right?
Yeah, I mean, like literally every ounce of them.
I'll tell you, man. I mean, you know, you can go to Home Depot and get you a little Husky bag and work out real good too. So,
yeah, but there's so like after you go through so many toolbox, like I started off before there was a lot of bags. I was using toolboxes, you know.
Yep.
And I don't know, like you go through one after another and you're trying to figure out a way to make it nicer. And like Huskies, sometimes it's hard to go inside and grab tools. You fill them up and it's like hard to reach stuff. Same thing with Kleins. And the Klein backpacks, I don't know if they fixed them, but like the backpacks would always tip over. All the tools would fall out. And I was just like, this thing's garbage. Like it's completely useless. I got to spend 5 minutes cleaning up my tools after every freaking show.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no.
I still have my big backpack though. I just doesn't have quite as much in it as it had. Wait, did you ever watch my backpack video?
No, I blocked all backpacks from my memory after that was my first tool bag.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm the man. I got every tool known to fucking man in that backpack till I had to go up a ladder.
Yeah. That's how
I'm saying. Yeah, you should go to my channel and watch my backpack video. It's pretty funny. That's what I actually carried when I worked for the school system.
Mike said, "This is my 7th Phillips screwdriver. This is my 5th flashlight in here." Like, what are you doing, man? Throw all that shit out. You don't need any of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now
I show
carry chain wrenches, 3 or 4 plumber's wrenches, fucking everything.
Dude, I had contactors and capacitors and all kinds of shit. If it kept my fat ass from going down the ladder to go and get a part, it was in my backpack.
Yep, I got rid of that thing as soon as I could.
Well, I got rid of it when there was no need for it. But if I was still working for school system, I'd still have that backpack going. So, because it was heavy going up that ladder, but it paid off in the long run.
You know, Ted has mentioned many times, and Justin says the same thing, where they either grab 1 or 2 tools and then they keep their alligator clips in their pocket or a handful of wire nuts in that. And I've tried that, but every time I freaking go to a call, I'm like, oh man, I need this tool. So I go back and grab that tool. And then I'm like, oh, I need another tool. And it's like I'm back and forth to the truck 5 times. I'm like, I'm just bringing my bag. Like, this is stupid. Like, I'm walking back and forth 50 times.
Well, Cindy will tell you I carry all kinds of stuff in my pocket, but normally, like, I'll forget to put it back in there. You know, I'll take it out, lay it on the end table and the nightstand, and then I'll get up, get dressed, and forget to put all my shit back in my pocket. Then, actually, when I do that, I need it that day. Normally, I'm like, shit, I left it on the nightstand. And especially that little mini split adapter, I always carried it in my pocket. And
you need to have like pretty much your basic tools. You got to have at least two of everything in your truck, in different, like in another,
I got
or whatever, you know.
I have a drawer full of spare tools.
I got like 6 of those little mini split adapters because I kept having to go and buy them because I kept forgetting mine at home. Now I got one in my bag. So
when I roll up on site now, I take my HS36 and I've got a little tool bag that's got some wire cutters and 11-in-1 and some thermostat screwdrivers, and that's it. That's what I go and diagnose with.
I take this. That's all I need.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you have your little?
Oh no, it's actually in my tool bag.
I bought that. I don't know where I did with it. I never put it in my tool bag. I gotta find it.
Adam, after I left y'all's show, I had no more need to want to cut my wrist with that thing. I used to carry this little reamer here and say, y'all make me want to cut my wrist with this.
Yep. For good old
I've got everything sitting here on my desk, man. I mean, I've been working on computers. I got a laptop RAM and you name it. I need to clean my desk.
Here, Mike, here's some here's the old school for you.
Yeah.
Memories.
I noticed you changed the song.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to come up with some individuality, or however you say that word. Individual at, how do you say it? Somebody.
Y'all should play like some Snoop Dogg or something when it comes on. I mean, y'all not monetized right now, so
yeah.
It's the Wild West. You can do what you want until you get monetized.
That's true, but people could go back and watch old videos too, though, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Which that stupid skit video we did? That's got like almost 7,000 views on it.
All that, the one for where your show was coming back?
Yeah, when we canceled it and we were trying to like, we need to put a video on the channel before we come back so people know what's going on and blah, blah, blah. So we're like, let's do it.
It was epic. It was honestly epic. I loved it.
There was a couple people that questioned our sexuality. Like what? Like what's wrong with you people?
So my buddy just sent me a message. It says it's a screenshot of someone's conversation, and it says, "I need a sugar daddy," and his response was, "You have neither the body or face for that. You need a warehouse job."
Oh, so funny.
My computer is very laggy for some reason tonight. Fuck. I hope this thing don't go down again.
Went up in flames last time.
Literally.
Shows that we have 20 people watching right now. That's not too awful bad, I don't guess. I have to look at everything once it's over.
All right, folks. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. It's 11:30 my time.
All right.
Oh, what are you going to do? You want to go to bed?
I'm gonna go to bed. Hell yeah, I am.
Well, it's
I
nice.
was looking for this video. I was going to play this video.
All right, I'll see y'all later.
See ya.
All right.
Whoa, extreme close up.
All right.
I gotta move over this way.
Mm.
I'm over here now. That's Yamo's intro music.
Oh, is it? Yamo, the Mariachi Sriracha.
Yes.
I'm trying to get this window to
I guess
to load.
people work
Computers
use small
loading.
bags. I can't. I hate going back and forth to the truck, and then when I go back to the truck, I grab like 1 or 2 tools, and then I have to go back again. I'm like, oh, I need another tool. I feel like I'm wasting so much time going back and forth. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I use like a bucket style tool bag. I have lots of pouches for stuff, and it doesn't get lost.
Yeah, those are nice because you can sit down when you get there and work.
Is it an actual like bucket with a liner?
Yes.
Husky makes those too. Well, I was going to play that video, Adam, but it's not wanting to load. Oh shit! My computer needs to be restarted, I guess. But yeah, I guess that we can call it a video. We went an hour and a half tonight. We appreciate everybody tuning in. No, JH, I'm not working for anybody currently. You hiring? I need a job. A job. Well, no, look, somebody will make a video tomorrow. That fat ass Mike is out of work.
John's not making a video tonight, huh? He's not going live, is he?
I don't know. He might when he finds out I'm not working.
John's been cool.
Yeah, he has actually. Actually, I did see John come on y'all's show. That first episode of y'all's. Was it the first episode or last week's episode? He showed up.
I think it was a both.
It was where?
I think it was both, but he was there longer for sure the first episode.
Well, that's cool. I would like to have John come on my show. I mean, that would be cool with me.
We were talking before. I would definitely like to have him come on our show. I think it would be a great show.
If John comes on my show, I'll give away this GoPro. The John Israel edition.
You got to have him sign it.
Well, I'll sign it. I'll sign it and say that he did. He won't care, I'm sure. Oh, no, JH. I don't want to live up in New Jersey.
I sell.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
Is there any way I can work from home and y'all hire me? I mean, I can sit here and take calls or something, I'm sure.
Be a dispatcher.
Support. I mean, I could work technical support.
I sell a Mana currently right now.
Casey, I don't know where the Mr. Yamo is. Normally he stops in on my videos, but he hasn't showed up tonight. Yeah, I couldn't handle New Jersey. Could not. Actually, I lived in Poughkeepsie, New York. I liked Poughkeepsie. Long story, Andrew. Long story. But we just parted ways. That's the best way to say it.
And now we're on. Well, I think we're on good terms with him now. Fair enough.
KC, I'd actually probably not want to live in Kansas either. It's cold in Kansas.
You're not willing to move almost anywhere.
I think KC lives in Illinois.
I'll go any place southern. Any place southern.
Move to Jamaica.
I don't know, man. I'd be scared. I mean, maybe if I take, I don't know. I don't think I could fly to Jamaica. I've been watching that, The Manifest. It's this TV show. I binge watched the first season and a half of that, and they were on an airplane, and the plane, like, they were just flying in the sky. Next thing you know, that when they land, they've been gone 5.5 years. So yeah, and they were coming back from Jamaica. Now I would actually live in San Diego. Well, not actually in San Diego, but I've been to San Diego, California, and LA, and I liked it out there. It was really nice.
The armpit of USA. JH.
Man, I missed going to AHR. I didn't have the money to go, which really sucks because I really wanted to go. I had everything together and ready, and I got my credentials to go, and didn't have the money for the trip.
Did you get a press pass?
I did, yeah.
Did you get boxes and shit in the mail? Did Carhartt send you a care package?
They did not.
I got a bunch of crap. I was like, what the hell is this?
They probably sent you my shit, man.
It said it was addressed to me, and I don't know what it said Adam, it said my name, and then it said HVAC Shop Talk.
KC is a comedian. Do you see what he says?
It's boring.
No. He said, "Oh, Ted Cook, don't you live close to Ted?" Yeah, I can see Ted hiring me.
You could live close to Ted.
I do live close to Ted. Not that far, actually. But I guess we can end this show and everything, and maybe I guess we'll have a show next week put together. I believe that I talked to what's his name on here? Ren. Is it HVAC Tech? Ren, spoke to him about coming next week.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we'll have him on here again next week. And looks like probably Bill, if that chili soup of his doesn't take him out.
Didn't sound like it had any beans in it.
We're gonna have a talk with Wade. He's getting to be an old man or something. 11:30. Oh, my bedtime. It's 11:30. I gotta go to bed.
Can't really tell any stories tonight either.
No, he hasn't told any stories the last couple of times. I don't know what's going on with him. Ren, was you going to come next week, my friend?
Bring him in now.
Adam, I know that you would do this show all night long. Let's see if the cat's thinking, who in the hell is this Joker? Well, Ren, if you're interested in coming on next, let's see. Oh, he's like, bring him in now. He said, I can. Oh,
hell. Call John Israel. We're having an all-nighter.
call him and say, John, we're having an all-night show. Would you like to come in?
I would call John right now, but he doesn't like me calling him late at night. And he doesn't like me calling when I'm on live stream. So
well, it's only 10:30 when he's down there at his.
I know, but I don't want to, tug that olive branch too hard.
No, yeah. Well, we're just going to invite him on a damn show. I mean,
I think that needs to be discussed prior.
Okay, we'll discuss it with him. See what he to come on next week, and I'll give away this autographed GoPro. It might not be autographed by John Israel, but it'll be autographed and it will say John Israel. Shit, I can do it now. No, I ain't got my Sharpie.
Still early. 10:30.
It's 11:30 my time.
People were complaining that we get off too quick now because we try to close it off after an hour. It's like, you guys end it way too fast. Like, hey, man,
Okay.
You run out of stuff to talk about. Those shows with John, those were fun, though. Sometimes you're like falling asleep.
They were fun. They really were.
You're making me want to. All I got is these little short leftover cigars.
Hey, Ren, message me your email address. I'll send you an invite.
Should I get 2 puffs out of this thing?
That's a boss hog right there. So, Wade told us that he was banned on Facebook again right now.
That's what he said.
I'm being a good boy on Facebook. I ain't getting my shit jacked again.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Pretty sure it's because he's been sharing smoking bacon stuff, and they don't like smoking bacon.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah. Matt, we would hang next week. I mean, I have to have a show on my channel next week, but we could definitely hang.
And I'll talk to. I mean, if he wants to come on overtime, I'll talk to the guys. I think that would be awesome. It's not going to be next week because we already have a few people lined up for next week, but the following week. Actually, it wouldn't be the following week because that one's booked too. It would be 3 weeks from now. But yeah, talk to John. I'll text him too. He's been responding to me.
Shit. Ren, I can't copy your email address from there.
Dude, just type it.
I can barely see it, man. I lost my glasses, okay?
I'll read it to you. It's Ren Pavage 72. I'll spell it. You want me to spell it?
Hold your damn horses here, man. I gotta get my email loaded up here. You make me want to drink it.
I make me want to drink.
Spell it for me.
RENPAVICH 72 at Gmail. You got it?
I got it. It's sent.
He sounds like he might be a Croatian, this guy. Eh?
Haven't you seen Ren?
No, I know, but I'm looking at his last name. We'll ask him.
He looks like a big Russian fella, the guy that Rocky fought in the movies. Remember that big Russian guy? He actually released a good video the other day. It was on a.
You said the Rocky Russian?
Yeah,
Ivan Drago, he doesn't look like that guy.
Well, Drago had more hair.
And he was
And Drago, well, yeah, that too. And Drago was handsome. I mean, you know, maybe Ren doesn't look like this guy at all. Okay?
Drago's like 8 feet tall.
Yeah. Ren's like 4 foot something, I think.
What's everyone's favorite Rocky? What's your favorite Rocky, Mike?
Dude, the new one. Have you seen the new one?
The one with where he's coaching the kid?
Where his it wasn't Rocky, was it? No, it was
Balboa.
Was it Balboa 2? Not Balboa. No, it wasn't Balboa. It was the shit.
Oh, it's the dude's name. It's the kid's name. Yeah.
Yeah. That one there, man. That one was awesome. Where he had to defeat Drago's son. They had to fight. Yeah.
That was good. I still really think like, all right, so Balboa was the one where he comes back and he sees little Marie. And
I like Rocky 5 too.
Rocky
Creed.
Creed. Rocky 5 is my number one, dude. The last 10 minutes of Rocky 5.
Yeah, it was the shit.
Best. And it's the funniest thing is it's not even they're fighting in an alley, you know? They're talking about boxing the whole movie and it's in an alley. What's his name? What's that promoter? I can't remember his name, but Tommy Gunn and his promoter come into the bar and he's like trying to call out Rocky, and they're like, "What? Yo, why don't you get out of here?" And he knocks Paulie down. He's like, "You knocked him down. Why don't you try that with me?" And then all of his friends get up and like, "Hey, Brock, you need any help?" And they're like, "He's like, no, man, this is not a pie eating contest. Sit down." And then all of his friends get up and like, "Hey, Brock,
there he is.
Need any help?" No, man, this is not a pie eating contest. Sit down. You gotta mute your YouTube. And then all his friends get up and like, "Hey, Brock,
There he is.
need any help?"
You gotta close your YouTube.
Contest. Sit down. You gotta mute your YouTube. And then all his friends get up and like, "Hey, Brock." I feel like I'm in the nexus of the YouTube universe right now.
Did you get it, buddy? You can, if you don't see the chat over on the right-hand side, you can go up there to the top right corner and hit comments, and it'll show. Can you hear us, Ren? Oh, no, he can't.
Yep. He's getting set up.
All right.
Fuck, I can't see.
Hey,
Hey, at least you got a microphone.
Shit.
The microphone's working. You got to plug it
plug
in.
it in the,
Oh, man.
Plug it in.
plug
your
it in the
computer.
I have no idea.
Well, can you hear us?
That's
you hear us?
all, man.
Can you hear anything? No.
Holy shit.
There.
Ren, can you hear us?
No, he can't.
Mm-mm.
Tell him.
Oh, fuck. No wonder. Da, 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 da.
Well, he
Oh,
was
I gotta
listening
put the cable in, man. I gotta put the cable in.
he was listening to YouTube. I don't know how he couldn't hear us.
There we go.
He's got speakers turned. Blue Yeti.
Okay. We'll see y'all next Tuesday when Ren gets this hooked up. You know, Adam, when you play that, it sounds like you've got a female cat that's in heat and you're scratching the top of her tail.
I need to put more stuff on here. You know?
Yeah.
What other sound effects should I get?
Well, you need a really good explosion, man. So when Joe's talking about working on stuff, you can hit the explosion button.
The cool thing about the stream deck is each button, you could put a folder on each button, and then you open a folder and you could have like however many. And if you run out of buttons again, you can put more folders inside of the folders. It's like an endless possibility of buttons.
Ren, can you hear us now? You could just nod your head, shake it. Oh, there we went.
Did you take them out?
No, he just like dropped out. Something happened to him. There he is. He's back. Hold on.
You should look at that.
Ren, can you hear us now?
Type in the chat to plug.
Hey, can you guys hear me yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Had the mute button on.
You're shitting me.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Type in the chat. I don't have the YouTube open, but tell them to plug the headphones into the computer.
You guys can hear me. I just can't hear nothing unless you guys are quiet.
No.
Reversing that.
Yeah, we don't have anything to say. This is the Seinfeld of HVAC. How was that, Mark?
Turn your speakers on.
I got my speakers on. This headset here.
Is your volume up?
He was listening to YouTube. So
I'm new. What the hell you want me to do?
Volume up.
Okay, I got my volume up. You get some feedback now.
yeah, just turn it back a little bit.
Okay, I got my volume up. That was probably funnier than anything watching me trying to figure this shit out. All right. Better?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Sounds like a Verizon commercial.
Hey, Brian. If you're watching us through actual YouTube, you have to turn that off. And there should be a settings tab down there that says cam and mic. You have to go to that, and you can set your audio settings there.
Sorry, it was probably a bad idea to try this on the fly.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while for him to hear what you guys are saying. It's really delayed.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah, he just heard me.
I see what you're saying.
We apologize for the technical problems. We need a good tech guy that can travel around everybody's houses fixing shit.
That's Mike Powell. All right, Mike. I got it.
Okay, can you guys hear me over there now?
Yes.
We can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think I can hear you through YouTube, and I'm watching you on the other one.
Okay. You've got to close the YouTube.
Yeah, so just close it.
Yeah.
All right, how's that?
Can you hear
Can
us?
you hear me now?
Yep, perfect.
Okay.
Yay.
Yeah,
We got it.
I think that's smart. So
Well, man, you ain't got to be telling people. I mean, you know,
Matt
we,
needs
we was
mud.
Hey, thanks for having me
We
on,
was-
guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike. Mike's.
His mom was a pit.
Are you Croatian,
I
Ren?
don't know about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Me too.
Yeah, it must be something in the area here. I was up in your neck of the woods this week.
What were you doing?
Nothing. No, I was up at I was in was it fuck, where's Ilko at up by you guys?
There's a bunch of them.
It's out by O'Hare.
Oh, I'm not sure where that one is actually. I know there's one by Midway.
Yeah, no, that's countryside. I was up there for some Samsung VRF training this week. Sean Padota put that on for the Samsung startup and commissioning.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are those you like Samsung?
I did this week. I mean, they're all, they're actually kind of easier than like the LG or, the Sanyo or the Daikin. One thing I like about them a little bit better than the other ones is you got a little bit better tech support, which is more accessible compared to that other stuff.
Who do you work for, Ren?
Precision Control.
Precision Control.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get fired yesterday.
Why?
Dude, I got fired a couple weeks ago. So,
Well, I work in a union environment, and I had like one of my maggers go down, and the company's got to buy them because that's kind of the deal. And my boss was supposed to buy this thing for me like a couple weeks ago. It's like $600. So I call him like, "Hey, did my Megger come in?" And he goes, "No, Joe said not to order it." So I'm like, "Okay, what the fuck, Joe?" And so I call him, and he's like, "Hey, I didn't have him order it yet." And I'm like, "Well, what's up? You got to order it, And he's like, "Oh, by the way, the big boss wants to talk to you about your extracurricular activities." And I'm like, "Well, what's that mean? Because I don't do nothing." And he wouldn't tell me. And so yesterday I talked to basically the vice president of the company about my YouTube videos because I've been shooting some stuff on the job and he didn't particularly care for it. But he was cool. It wasn't like a big deal, but I had a guy from work. They all kind of teased me at work about it. So whatever, I don't care.
Yep.
So are they going to let you continue?
No, I have a good relationship with the contractor. I've been there for about a year and a half, and I work in sometimes some sensitive areas. I do a lot of school work, hospital work, bank work, shit like that. So I just said, "Well, I can respect your opinion." I said, "I don't really need to do that." Because it's just kind of like a hobby for me. But I mean, I can shoot content after work and do other things. Just, I think their concern is, like I go into a place called like Praxair where they make like the gases, the nitrogen and shit like that, where you can't even like have a cell phone on you. And their concern is that maybe it could jeopardize a relationship with one of these big customers. And, I'm an adult, I get it. So I'm not looking to jam them.
Did you tell them that you're not a dumbass and that you would not shoot in areas like that? I mean,
yeah, and I think they get it, but he said he didn't really have an opinion on it. He just didn't see anything good that could come out of it. And I've already had the union call me out on it and say, I can't have any apprentices in the work and shit like that. And me and the union have battled a little bit when I had my own company, but I mean, it ain't a big deal. I got all kinds of stuff I can shoot besides where I'm working, but it was just, easier to do at work.
yeah, I understand. Yeah, I worked for a school system and I actually had a sit down with my boss about it before I started shooting any videos, and it was fine as long as I didn't get any children in the videos. And if I did, I had to blur them out where you couldn't identify them. And I couldn't say the name of the schools that I was at and so on and so forth, So like I would shoot all my intro and outro videos sitting in my van behind a building. And I always shot them at the same location. Sorry. I always shot my outros and intros at the same place. So no one ever knew where I was at for the few videos that I shot.
Yeah, well, I called my daughter because she used to work for me before I sold my company, and I kind of told her the day before I had this conversation with my boss coming up. And so I called her yesterday morning. I'm like, "Hey, it looks like I'm going to open my business back up." She said she got all excited, and I was kidding with her. I mean, because she was working for me, she was a tech, so she was kind of, egging me. They've been egging me on since I sold my business to start again, and I don't know.
You're not going to do it?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. Maybe, I don't know. I sold the building I used to have that was like on a real busy street here in town, and the location was just like perfect. And I sold that building, but what I learned about that building, and I kind of talked about it in another video, is the location was like worth like 200 grand just in advertising.
Really?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was probably doing an extra $250,000 a year just from being there. I mean, because I put a digital sign on there. I had the best location when it ended of all my competitors. So I mean, it was like the first building you see when you come into town.
Well, shit, you should have just sold advertisement from it and kept the building.
Well, I mean, they got to pay me for another 20 years, so I'm kind of hoping they don't. But I mean, I didn't say that on this. I mean, in case they ever watch. But
look, man, social media is a son of a bitch. Okay, that's why I lost my job a couple of weeks back, and it was because of a post from social media. So
I had an attorney drag me into court and use a Facebook post to collect $90,000 from me about 3 years ago.
damn.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And what happened?
I had a judgment for like $168,000 from like 2001, and I had never paid it. I've been kind of dodging them the whole time, and he drags me into court for like, I forget what they call that, where they ask you where you're working and shit like that. He goes, "Well, son, we're going to go in front of the judge today." And he goes, "Hey, is this a picture of you in this company truck bragging about, your business and how successful you are?" And I'm like, "I need a continuance." The judge goes, "Nope, we're going to settle this right now." So he kind of backed me into a corner, and then I just ended up settling with him the next day I just paid him 90 grand and get it over with. But yeah, he had a picture of me in my service van where I'd snapped a selfie eating a donut, talking about work.
Don't you hate when that kind of shit happens?
What's that?
I said, don't you hate when that kind of shit happens? I
learned a lesson.
These nosy bitches out here stalking your social medias, looking for some dirt.
I want to know what HVAC Techs does. She's been quiet the whole time, and I don't know why. Or
dude, she's a
I
stone
don't
cold.
talk a lot.
She is a stone cold killer.
Yeah, I'm a residential service tech. I do a lot of oil work, but work on everything.
fix it all, right?
Yep. If you don't know how to fix it, figure it out.
Plus, she's a hit woman for the mafia.
It's not supposed to be out on YouTube, but
Well, they're not going to see it on YouTube. Damn. If you post it on Facebook, your ass is done. Nobody watches my channel, so you're safe.
You don't
Yeah,
post
channel.
any videos on your channel.
Well, I try to do live content, Adam. I like the live content, but I haven't been posting live content because of everything that's been going on. I've been through a lot since November. My daughter was almost killed in an accident. My father-in-law had a massive stroke. I'm battling for custody of my children. My dog just died, and I'm going to get George Strait to write a song about it. All right, Adam.
Hey, how do you see these live comments?
Over to the top right, under it says comments over there. You just hit that, and it'll show you. It'll show you what's live on YouTube and Facebook. Oh, we're actually streaming on Facebook. So I'm sorry, Kristen. You're it was nice knowing you.
What's wrong with that?
My cover with Mafia is gone now.
Yeah. Even though I haven't seen the first comment from Facebook, so nobody's probably watching it either.
That's good.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
I do a multicast and stream live on YouTube and my Facebook channel.
Well, this is the first one I've ever done. So you guys kind of like breaking me in, I guess.
Yeah,
Hot
we'll have
cherry.
you back next week if you want to come.
I'll probably run out of things to say today.
We'll probably have Bill on here too. Curious HVAC guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, trust me. You get him on here, man. He just keeps on going and going. I'll have to not let Wade come on here. That last time, have mercy.
There's
I think
who's that dude that's on with John? The guy with the wallpaper behind him.
Oh, the one guy that just talks the whole time.
He's got like an East Coast accent.
Yeah.
His name,
I don't know who.
His name is Mike.
Is his name Mike?
Michael.
Yeah. We need to get Michael here. That would be hilarious. We'll put Michael and Bill together. We'll let Bill question Michael.
I felt bad for him because John brought Ted in there, and Michael's still telling the story, going on and on and on. And Ted's like, "Damn, dude, do you ever shut up? What the?"
I was watching that. Yeah, it was funny. So you're into controls there, Ren?
No, I'm not. It's kind of weird. I work for a controls company, and there's like a big like wall. So like the controls guys don't share any of what they're doing, and we get sent out to kind of like clean up their messes. It's kind of goofy. We're actually a division of Hill Mechanical.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, because I was curious why. Because I watched that video of yours where you found that welded disconnect, and I actually got shocked one time by a 208 one, and I turned it off. And honestly, I checked the power on it, but I didn't check all three legs. And one of the legs was welded, and when I was taking the defrost timer off, it was for a walk-in freezer. I was taking the defrost timer off, and I got lit up pretty good. Luckily, it wasn't 208. It was just like 110, but still, it got my ass.
Well, here's the funny thing, and that location we've been doing service for like 10 years, and I think that's kind of what stirred up the YouTube at the work, because when that video, when that rooftop unit cycled off, the belt had a date on it from 2011 from the last time it was changed. We've been I've only been with this company like a year and a half, and they ain't changed the belt since 2011, and I think that's what kind of made people mad, But
yeah, well, that's one of the big things, man. You're going to learn in this, okay? If you do a video and you say something, well, it hasn't been changed since 2011, make damn sure that your company wasn't the one that changed that belt in 2011, and you were supposed to be changing it every year. So, because if you tell on your own company, it's not going to be good, which you just found out.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I mean, there's guys that knew this thing was damaged prior to me going up there, but no one said nothing. And if I'd have got my hand cut off, I wouldn't have been able to go Siri dial 911 on my phone because I don't have it. You know what I mean? I just put my foot down. I just shut the mains off. I said, you need to change that shit. You know, and they didn't.
Yeah.
You know, we don't get the work. The electrician comes in, but they didn't. You know, what if a kid behind me came up there? He didn't know.
And you didn't change that because you're a union, so the electricians have to do the electrical.
No, we could have subbed out an electrician, but I guess because it's over the tenant's amount that they're responsible for, then the landlord picks it up, so we end up losing the work because the landlord has his own contractor. But you know, they preach this safety in this environment that I work in so much, and I'm like, well, you know, we need to change that out because you know, I work with a lot of younger kids that may not know and shut stuff off, and they get sent out change filters or belts, and I'm not going to have, you know, one of those guys get hurt and then I was the last guy there and didn't say nothing.
Right.
So what was wrong with it? What was the issue?
The knives on the disconnect were welded shut. It was a Lennox Series 2 rooftop. I don't know, it was probably like 15 tons. Electric heat. So you shut the disconnect off and all the knives stay in there. So the scenario would be, let's say it's satisfied and there's no heat going, the blower's not running. You shut the disconnect off and then
Put your hands in there. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know any different.
Right.
So it's kind of, you know, safety guys like, yeah, it's a good, you know, near miss or whatever. But the salesman's like, well, we ain't going to get the work. And I'm like, fuck, I don't care. You know, we don't want nobody to get hurt.
Right.
You know,
what would be the effect to your company if, like, one of the younger guys, like you said, are in there and then they're on workers' comp or something, you know what I mean? Or worse, because they get hurt, right?
Oh, it'd be a big deal. I mean, we just had a guy fall off a ladder, 28-footer.
Was his name out?
Huh?
Was his name out there?
No. But
Okay.
he fell 28 feet, busted his eye socket, and shattered his elbow. And the thing is, they had a scissor lift to go up and down the roof they were using this right next to it.
Shit. We have a friend. He just had a bad fall from a ladder too. Then I guess the ladder fell on him afterwards. So he fell off the ladder, then the ladder fell on him. So poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm older, and you know, I don't have to be here. I enjoy what I do, but I mean, I'm not going to get hurt or let somebody get hurt next to me. I mean, we work on a lot of dangerous shit, and some of my videos I show it, but I'm not. You know, there was a kid that got his hand cut in his fingers cut off on a blower this year, but with a guy I was working with who was a journeyman. You know, the apprentice stuck his hand right in the pulley, trying to slow it down on one of these big, you know, makeup air units. Took all his fingers off.
Oh, who would?
I don't want to be living with that, you know.
Damn.
I mean, there's something that's in your head that's telling you that's not a good idea before you do that, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So Forrest says that you should mentor me so I can make my business blow up. He wants to see me lose my business and wants it to blow up.
I don't think that's what he means. Dude, I would help you out. I'd give you some advice. I mean, I
could get you in the union.
Nah, you don't want to do that.
The one thing that I need to make my business blossom is money. So, got to have some advertisement, man. Just can't make any money sitting here at the house not advertising, you know. So I have a small service company, just service and change outs, you know, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty simple. I mean, I built one from scratch. I mean, I didn't have a business, and you know, I blew it right up. I mean, I kind of learned what worked for me, but you know, I don't know your environment. I know where Adam's at. It's like hyper competitive.
Yeah.
It's pretty competitive down here too. Everywhere you turn around, there's another HVAC company. I live right outside of Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Oh,
So it's you have the Triad down here. It's pretty large. It's not as big as Chicago area. Adam proved that to me the last time I said it was.
Well, then
So-
I failed that with Joe because I'm like, Joe, there's more people in Chicago than there is Toronto, and then we looked it up like live on air. There's more people in Toronto. I'm like, damn it.
I think where Adam's at, there's like 16,000 HVAC contractors.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so there's tons of work, but there's like tons of people bringing the price down, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's like a race to the bottom.
right.
More work than techs available here. Well, that's the same here too, Dave. But the problem is right now with the conditions, the climate right now, there's not any work. All these bigger companies are living off of service contracts, you know, and we need to get like a good 15 below for a couple weeks, and then things will work. I don't even have my heat turned on upstairs. Don't need it.
Do you do refrigeration?
I do.
A lot of work in that. I think, you used to do what? Reefer tech at the schools?
Yeah. Well, I did refrigeration for the schools, and plus I left refrigeration and went into HVAC there. And in HVAC there, I worked on everything from a mini split to a 400-ton chiller, you know.
Well,
So
refrigeration's usually pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, why not maybe go in-house somewhere?
Well, he was in
Wow.
school, but he didn't. You didn't like it. Let me see if I'm correct. You didn't like it. One of the main reasons was they made you unload all the walk-in coolers and the freezers and all that crap with like
Yeah. Yeah. You had to
That's
do
what I
all
do
that
when I
shit.
go to the schools. I have their guys do it.
It sucks. No, as being one of the techs, you went there if you had a freezer problem or something, dude, before you could even, it'd take you 15 minutes to fix the freezer. But if it was warm, you had to take everything out of it, move it to another school, then come back and fix the freezer. Then once it comes up to temp, you have to go back to that other school and take it back to that school. And it was fucking stupid. It's what it was.
Did they pay you?
Well, I don't guess you could really call it that, could you, Adam? I brought in, what was it? $2,000 a month, I think.
Cost of living must be pretty low there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, the
like I
schools
spent that last week.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like $2,000 a month is all I was bringing in.
You got to move, man.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to. But I'm not moving to Chicago, and I'm not moving to New Jersey, and I'm not moving to Maryland. I'm probably going to maybe have to move a little further south or over towards the beach. I heard there's a lot of work over towards the beach. So,
Well, the quickest and cheapest way to add some customers is that home warranty work. And, I kind of went over that. And, if you wanted to reach out to me maybe one day later, I could kind of coach you on that. It's a quick, easy way to start making some money. And, you get signed up with 3 or 4 good ones, you could make $2, $3, $4 easy, while you're trying to get your stuff off the ground. Because here's the deal, it sounds like you need to eat, right?
yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah, I'll definitely get with you on that because I've got to do something. And I mean, I've got a fully stocked service truck sitting out back that's just ready to go. It's got a full tank of gas, and I'm ready to do shit.
You have any property management companies around there?
We do. We have several of them. I've contacted a few of them, and they're like, "Well, we'll get back with you when we have something." And you never hear from them.
I think
I
I
guess,
got
you know-
lucky. I got hooked up with a couple like of these general contractors that were running like the bank foreclosure jobs and all that when I first started. And I probably did probably 80% of the, maybe even more than 80% of everything I did was through them, you know, and it wasn't high dollar work, but I was getting 2-3 installs a week off of it. And the nice thing was nobody in their, we lost her. She's gone. Nobody in their pool of contractors did boilers. So I would charge like high dollar on boilers. And they would complain about it, but they would always pay it. Always pay it, you know?
Yeah, I can't find nobody.
Right.
Hey, did anybody answer Jason's question? Or was that to us or?
I can't see my chat keeps, something's messed up here. I don't know.
Her laptop died.
Hey, Jason, if you're still on, was that a question for us? The question is, do you guys do light commercial or residential?
I do both.
Yeah, I do a little bit of commercial, mostly residential.
I do industrial commercial also.
I fix anything. I don't, my business was residential commercial, but I currently do commercial and industrial.
If I can't fix it, I call Adam to help me. I have done that several times, haven't I, Adam?
What kind of work does Jason do?
Who's Jason? I can't see the chat.
It says Jason, yeah. He was just asking what we kind of did. I mean, Adam, you're like a sheet metal guy by trade, right? I mean, is that your kind of like your magic?
Yeah, but I'm trying to. It's getting old, so, and it's hard to find people willing to pay for what I do. So I'm trying not to. The only time, like, I have a job coming up, a custom job, Frank Lloyd Wright House, in the next couple months that I'm doing, where it's all custom duct work, all handmade, but he's paying for it, So I'm just trying to get into service and change outs, and that's it. That's all I want to deal with now.
Yeah, that's where the money's at.
And I like boilers a lot. I do a lot of boilers, and I work on small boilers, big boilers, commercial, whatever. I like boilers. Sorry, Mike.
Oh no, that's okay. I was going to say that company I worked for, they had a plasma table that they cut out all the metal and stuff. Man, that thing was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
You know what?
He wants a video on that, Adam.
I'll be right back.
He wants a video on what?
I didn't say. Can you? What do you want a video on, Dave?
I wish I could see this. I should just open YouTube on this other screen here. I'm too lazy tonight.
And Jason does the same thing as Chris Stevens. He's HVACR videos, commercial, mostly restaurants. That's fun work, getting on your knees in the grease. Do that too occasionally. I always try and get them to feed me if the food's good.
The last restaurant I was at, they tried. Well, that's weird.
He wants the video on the Franklin Lloyd Wright House, if you can do it.
I could do that. I have how is this? That's crazy. On YouTube, there's like an ad for my company on YouTube.
Yeah, I clicked it. How much did that cost you?
Don't do that.
Jason, where are you at? Where are you at in the country?
What kind of little dog? Oh, you got a little Chihuahua?
That's Bella.
Bella's a cutie.
She's ready to go. She wants to go to bed because she sleeps on the couch with us or in the bed with us. That's funny.
How old is she?
She's 4.
4.
Her in bed with us.
Oh,
My, I just lost my little dog. How old is she?
She's 4.
4.
Her in bed with us.
oh,
Adam, you're going to.
am I still?
I
There, sorry.
I lost my little dog. I had him for 11 years. He was a long-haired Chihuahua, about the size of yours.
No, I
Maybe
can see the chat.
What was you doing, Adam? Opening up YouTube?
He's trying to look at the chat.
Yeah, I've been not watching the chat the whole time.
Well, you can watch it StreamYard.
It doesn't work. It's not working for me. It's like lagged. Nothing's showing up.
Oh, I see.
So, Jason, are you Mormon and you have like 5 wives?
Jason, yeah. I missed a lot.
Man, I should have got me something to drink while I was up.
So, Mike, are you able to collect unemployment now that you're not working? Or is that going to be a fight?
Hey, dog, shut the hell up. The cat just
Here we
opened.
go.
The cat just opened the door and the dog barked about it. Thought somebody was coming in. You'll know if somebody comes in. You'll hear this big boom.
Sorry.
But yeah, I'm going to be able to collect unemployment. I actually just signed up, so I hesitated on signing up because I thought, well, hell, it'll be easy to find a job, but it hasn't been that easy. Gee, look, as soon as I do sign up now, I'll find a job and I'll have to call them and say, hey, yeah, I found a job. And another problem is that a lot of these companies don't want to pay you any fucking thing because they'll hire these guys that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground and pay them $12 an hour. You know, and these guys will take the job because they're making $12 an hour.
Quiet.
Gets money.
What's the going rate for a tech in your area of the country? Like a good average tech pay?
It's usually starting out around $19 an hour. For
and are you going to get like add-on commission and stuff like that?
Some companies. I made 25. So
I'm guessing that's probably a pretty decent buck where you're at.
Yeah, it's not too bad. For residential, you know. And I was scheduled for a raise in commercial, but I had to be there 90 days. I'm sorry about the dog whining in the background. I guess I'm going to have to shoot it. I've been trying to keep.
Shut up!
Yeah, it's making my dog bark too, and she's a female.
She has a feeling Mike's dog's in heat.
Yeah, she's in heat.
Why don't we start raising puppies, man?
Fuck that.
Sounds like you got, what kind of dog is it?
She's a Heinz 57. She's got she's supposed to have German Shepherd, some Boston Terrier, and Lab. And
sounds like she could have some Basset Hound from what you were saying earlier in her.
Possibility. It's a Walker Hound's what it was. Maybe some Pit Bull. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, why don't you just open a puppy mill?
Yeah, I could do that. Sell some puppies. Adam, how many people does YouTube say that we have watching?
Oh, I closed YouTube. I just popped out the chat.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Forrest, where are you at? Dave C said it's like 34 to 38 pay there. Jason saying it's like 15 to 38. Boris is saying 25 to 35.
My ex-boss, he said it usually maxed out around 29 in residential and around I think he said 35 in commercial. So
Well, if your cost of living's lower, that's probably pretty decent. Sacramento, that sucks.
16 people. I don't guess that's too bad for as long as we've been on. Like I said, I don't have these videos that often anymore, but I'm going to start having them weekly once they get things sorted here.
How long has your wife been gone, Mike?
Since before Thanksgiving. She came home for a few days, and then I just had surgery here a couple weeks ago. So she came home for a few days for that, and then she had to go back.
Where's your surgery at?
My feet. Remember, I was talking about I had that ingrown toenail that was giving me all that problem?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they actually took me surgery and put me to sleep and all that stuff and went in and had to do reconstructive surgery on the one toe, and it was pretty rough. They went ahead and did both. Feel better now, though.
Hey, Mark, you just joining us? Dave C. said he's on the east coast of Canada. And it's not slow. Can you get a passport and go to Canada up there where Dave's at in Halifax?
Mike?
Oh, no, I definitely ain't moving to fucking Canada. I'm going to
It's
tell you that.
warm up there.
Yeah.
Work with Joe.
Actually, I don't think I'm allowed in Canada. At least they told me to leave and don't come back the last time.
Hey, Adam, do you remember a guy on YouTube, HVAC dude?
Yeah.
I seen him on Friday.
Really? Where at?
Yeah, I was on Cicero Avenue. No, it was Thursday, Cicero Avenue when it was snowing, and I was getting off of the Tri-State on Cicero heading north, and I think he was turning on, was it 125th going towards like Coca-Cola over there or Pepsi?
Yeah. He's always on the south side. I used to see in his videos. Like I would recognize the places he was at.
Yeah, I was curious what happened to him, but
I think his work got pissed off that he was making videos. Because he's still on YouTube. He just changed his name and he deleted like all the videos from his current company. So
yeah, I thought he had some kind of neat stuff. I was kind of watching him before I even got involved with this stuff, but he's kind of funny to watch.
yeah.
See, my goal, I have a goal, is that I would like to get monetized on YouTube, and when I start, it gets some sponsors and stuff like that. And when YouTube can sustain my income, I start doing my personal work for veterans for free. So
What kind of work for vets?
HVAC work. If they have a system and it's busted, they can call me and I'll fix it for free.
We used to, when I was in business, I used to have, I was an Amana dealer, and I used to get Amana once a year to donate like a free furnace and air conditioner, and I would put that into a veteran's house.
Mm-hmm.
We'd find one that was in need, and we'd install it for free. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. That's my end goal. Is that if YouTube can sustain my household, then I want to take what I do and do good with it. And
yes,
then
video.
Adam, I'm doing a video right now, man. Doing a video right now. But and do some good with it, and that also gives me the opportunity that I can film those videos and and then put them on YouTube. So
it's a good idea.
Yeah, these guys have done so much for us that I think that we could do more for them.
Adam, how long you been in business?
9 years, almost 9 years now.
Loving every minute of it?
It has ups and downs. I'm kind of I had several other guys working for me a few years back, and they were messing stuff up left and right, and I just got like fed up, you know. So they're all gone, and I got to the point where I'm like, I just do stuff myself, and then it's like another stress, you know what I mean? Because it's like now I'm too damn busy all the time because I'm doing everything myself. So then now I'm trying to bring on more people, and I'm trying to like structure it. So I don't know. I'm still learning. I'm not great at the business, but
Now, are you working with GDI or Rogers?
Rogers.
Yeah, they took care of me quite a bit when because that's who I was dealing with when I was in business.
You buying through Tinley?
I was dealing with Kevin.
Oh,
I think I did a video where I caught my supplier stealing from me. I'm not going to say that was him, but yeah, I was Hobart branch because I'm in Valpo, Northwest Indiana. So, but yeah, no, I mean they actually took care of me, and there was a lot of programs that they did for me, special rebates and things like that, and marketing assistance.
yeah,
They're
pretty good.
Yeah, I mean they treated me pretty fair. It seemed like the more I bought, the more they charged me. You think you'd buy more furnaces, you get a deal.
Yeah, that's the same thing that's going on with me right now.
They just get a price increase.
Oh yeah, and it's like a substantial price increase, and there's like price increases on not just furnaces, like parts and all kinds of stuff. And you're like, huh? Seems like
it costs more for the trucks to come up from Texas, right? Is that what this excuse is now? And and then you switch to another supplier, and then they lower the price, and then you take it, 2 increases, one in January, one in June,
right?
And it's just you can't seem to win with these guys. You know what I mean?
Yep. And it's I don't know. I think it's funny, like looking at what we're paying for basic Amana 80% single stage furnaces, like what the price went up to, and they're like, well, it went up that high because of the new blower motors. They're very expensive. That's why they're so that's why they went up several $100s. Oh, okay. And then I get a flyer for their GMC furnaces, same blower motor in it, $470 for the furnaces. I'm like, huh, these blower motors must be cheaper. They're cheaper to make the new blower motors in the GMC furnaces.
Yeah, they're coming off the same line.
Exactly.
Just got a little different tint on the paint. I mean, I could never figure that out. Have you ever tried to go to Goodman Distributing direct?
I did. I had I bought a ton through them, and then I had a falling out just with their accounting department. I don't remember what the credit limit was at the time, but we were like buying stuff hand over fist with them. All right. And they called me and they're like, you're over your credit limit. I wasn't late. I was over the credit limit. And every month prior to that, I'm paying my bill with an American Express card. And they were fine with it because I'm getting the points and everything else. But like I was very busy. I'm over the credit limit. And they're like, okay, well, why are you over your credit limit? They were like pissed off. I'm like, I'm not keeping track of what I'm buying.
Because I'm buying a lot of shit.
And they're like, okay, well, you need to pay your bill right now. I'm like, all right, I'll give you a credit card right now. And while they called, I'll give you a credit card right now on the phone. I'll pay for it. Okay. No, this is too high of an amount. It's not worth it for us to take the credit card. And I'm like, well, excuse me?
Yeah, they want to check now.
But I paid them prior to that in a credit card every single time, So
Yeah, it's you buy $50,000 worth of equipment and you get, let's say, 2% on a Discover card. Now we're talking $1,000.
right.
That's big money.
So I told them, like, well, I'm driving and I have a credit card right now. You're gonna have to wait if you want me to drop off a check. I'm busy. So a couple days go by and the lady called back and she's like, we need the money by Friday or we're gonna take action against you. And this is like in a very short period of time. And I'm like, excuse me?
Yeah, you're paying your bill every month on time, right? The
Right.
first day you get the bill, right?
So I called them. I'm like, you could send somebody over and pick up a check. I'll pay the whole amount off with the check, but I explained to him, like, I tried to give you a credit card. You said no. I paid on a credit card every single month. And I said, go ahead. You can come pick up your check, but also take all your shit out of my shop. You can take all your brochures and all the racks and everything. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this crap with you guys anymore. So, but that's like a big thing. I love paying bills with, American Express gives you huge freaking rebates, huge rebates. You know what I mean? And I guess they had a rule: if your balance is over a certain dollar amount, they won't take it.
Yeah, Rogers isn't like that. They always extend it. Like, if we're in peak season and let's say I got a $50,000 limit and, it's the 20th of the month and I've already bought 50 grand, they're just going to verbally authorize it because they know for the last 36 months I paid on time and
Right.
my business has grown. But,
I feel like Goodman, they offered a lot. They probably offer a little bit more than Rogers does realistically. But it's a super corporate environment and it's not, there's not like, hey, make this phone call or whatever, it's freaking Japanese. What are they going to do? Call Japan. You know what I mean? They have the rules and the rules are the rules and that's it.
Well, I had a problem. I was having a falling out with Rogers for a certain reason I mentioned earlier, but I'm not going to repeat it. And I was trying to get stuff out of from Goodman out of Illinois, and it was like a big battle. And they brought in, Steve Gilchrist from Goodman because I'm like, look, I got a problem here. I'm buying fucking $500,000 worth of equipment, and I've got an issue with my supplier, and I don't have a backup. You know what I mean? It was a mess. And for like a month, I was getting them out of Illinois from Goodman, and then, they made me and Rogers kiss and make up, and then next thing you know, it's like, bam, 2 price increases like 6 months apart, and I'm like, the hard part is what me and you were doing. We're out there selling it, putting it in, this, that, and all they're doing is dropping boxes off, and we're placing orders.
Right.
I hate it sometimes. It's like, fuck, man, what we're doing is the hard part.
Right. And it's hard to stay on top of like the new pricing all the time. It's like, am I looking at the current pricing right now when I'm quoting something? Because I think the last year I was at selling Train, I had 3 price increases in 1 year. 3. And the one they told me it doesn't count because that was the metal tariff. Well, that's not a price increase. That doesn't count.
Yeah, don't count metal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tariffs. Yeah, they come up with a new excuse, and after about 2 years, you done heard them all. It's like, what's it now?
Right.
Yeah, I'm doing good, and you guys want to make more money.
Right.
But hey, I want to answer Forrest's question if I could. Samsung VRF systems, if it's a heat recovery system, it's going to have a 3-pipe. If it's just a standard heating or cooling unit, or like a heat pump or straight cool, it's only going to be a 2-pipe. So it's only heat recovery that is a 3-pipe system.
And that's just commercial, right? The VRF.
Yeah, like your 7 to 15 ton setups, depending if they're running like a duplex. But the heat recovery is a 3-pipe system, so it allows the heat and cool. It's different than because they have a system that'll just do heating. They'll have one that'll do heating and cooling, but unless it's a heat recovery, you can't heat and cool simultaneously. That's the difference.
Have you done the Daikin VRF?
I haven't yet, but from what I understand, their tech support is horrible.
They're awful. And the one local, you have to go through their local. I'm not going to say their name, but there's like a local.
Yeah,
you got to do
the thermal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that's what I was talking about where I thought I was going to get fired. My boss called me Friday. He's like, hey, this Pepper Construction, I don't know if you heard of them in Chicago. Pepper Construction, they're like big contractors or whatever. And they put in this Samsung VRF system, and they had a trained building automation communicating with it. And they were the general was getting ready to get fined on Monday because they can't get it to work with the building automation, and they were going to send me down there yesterday. Yeah, yesterday, because they wanted somebody independently to look at it because the Daikin, the company that you were going to mention, couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. And if you've ever worked with Train, they're kind of like an issue too when it comes to that, their automation department. And because these VRFs, you can't control them with a building automation system like you can like a rooftop or air handler. That's
right.
They're just too smart.
Well, I know Daikin has their own proprietary. I'm trying to remember the name of the control. It's been a couple of years, but it's like a computer that you hang on the wall, and then you have like your little controls throughout or whatever. You could have sensors, or you could have the controls, but it's called like the what is it called? Something. I don't remember, but it's like crazy. This thing is like serious,
Yeah, monitors. Like if you could have like 15 of them, and it connects to that system, and it'll tell them all what to do. But I think protocol is that they all have to have a BACnet interface for like building automation. And the problem, since the stuff's kind of rolling out, is you can only give it like an enable or an occupied status command. And the way most of these building automation systems are working is they're constantly giving feedback to these systems. Basically they're talking to the systems too much. And the VRFs from a building automation side, they just want to, just tell me what you want me to do once. Don't tell me over and over again. It's kind of like a woman telling you over and over again. But
I feel like the Daikin, when you're programming it, you have to say every little thing, and it's like it's like you're writing computer code.
Yeah, for sure.
You're putting it in, it's like, this is the time, this is unoccupied. When it's unoccupied at this time, you want to do this at this time. And it's like and it's like, dude, dumb this thing down a little bit. It just seems like it's so time consuming to.
Well, then they want to tie that system into a building automation, and then that's where the problem. I mean, the system you're talking about will do everything it needs to, but when they're tying it into like an existing building automation system, that's where the problems come in because they can't communicate.
Yeah, we did 2 10-ton systems in Chicago, and they wouldn't let us. We didn't have the time, so we didn't have time to order the proper air handlers with the braze connections because flares are not allowed in Chicago. So we had to cut them back and try to braze it inside the unit with all that plastic shit and everything inside of there. That was awesome. And then we had to do the what do you call it, ventilation and all that with like mixed air boxes. Everything's custom. The Jade controls. This whole room was it's a plenum rated room. We had to wrap everything in the entire room with metal, and then just have a couple of big return grills. What a pain in the butt that was. Awful.
Yeah, I'm glad you appreciate working down. I've done a lot of work downtown. I worked in the Shed Aquarium for like 8 years as a contractor when I was with Air Comfort, and I think you said your dad used to work there.
Yep.
Man, the code in Chicago, man, I can't imagine, unless you're probably like in California or something, or maybe in New York. I can't imagine it's any harder to do business. It's a fight the whole way from trying to park to get a part to doing the work.
I love bringing in the fresh air on these buildings. Some of them are like impossible to do.
Yeah, like a foot thick.
Well, not just that, they want it up a certain height. If you're going to be X amount of feet from a street, I can't remember what the regulation is. It's got to be like 7 or 10 feet up in the air or something like that. And sometimes you just can't get it. You can't have it, period. And this one we were lucky on, the Daikin one, but there was another one we did for Wirtz Realty. They were rebuilding and moving 3 of their offices. And this one was a historic building on Lakeshore Drive, a big Greystone, huge building. And they said they wanted it the fresh air to go through the side of the building in this courtyard, like, pretty high up. And they showed them what they wanted and everything, and they're like, oh hell no, that shit's not flying. There's no possibility that you're cutting a hole like that in the side of the building. Like, the architect designed this and everything. So they somehow, I mean, Wirtz, the owner of the Blackhawks, they got through it. I don't know how they did it, but
Did you actually put it in, or they didn't?
no, they didn't do it. We didn't do it at that height. They allowed us to lower it down. We filtered it on another one of their jobs, because if you look at the code, it says it has to be X amount of feet off the ground or properly filtered. So another one of the Wirtz jobs we did, it was only like 5 feet off the ground, but we put in a charcoal filter, a 1-inch filter, then a charcoal filter, then we had a media filter. And they failed me like 3 times. And I wasn't at the inspection. And the last time the guy, he walked in, he's like, fail. And he like yelled right away. He's like, yeah, we're wasting my effing time. Fail. And I'm like, what's the problem? And he said it has to be this amount off the ground. And I'm like, hang on a second. I ran out to the truck. I grabbed the code book and I opened it up. And I said, it has to be this height off the ground or properly filtered. And I said, I can't imagine I could make it any more properly filtered than what I'm doing here. And he got all pissed off. He's like, I got to take a piss. He went to the bathroom and he came out and he signed the permit. He's like, don't you ever pull a code book on a Chicago inspector ever again.
Yeah, they're horrible. It's some of the stuff you got to do is ridiculous, like vent lines, refrigeration systems, and that's where the leak's always at when you go back.
The like the reliefs.
Yeah,
you used to have to do that in residential. Whenever I see, like, I go into these big condos or whatever, and they have all these units on the roof, and then I go to one. I found that at very, very early on, years ago, like 15 years ago. Somebody calls me, you need a little bit of R22, okay? Then all of a sudden you get a call from their neighbor. Hey, mine's not working either. Then you get a call from their neighbor. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I start looking. I'm like, what's this little doohickey on this thing in the outdoor unit? They all leak. 100% of them leak.
Yeah, that's why I never thought R22 was going to disappear with all those condo buildings. If you've ever worked downtown, you got 40, ton and a half condensers on a roof, and you got miles of pipe running through the walls. Who knows where? I always figured they wouldn't outlaw it, and then they did the nitrogen charged, and well, hell, now you can do 407C. So but yeah, if working downtown, that's a sport in itself, is what I tell the guy, the new guys coming up. It's one thing to do the work, but then you got to find a parking spot and figure out where you can fit your van and how you're going to get a part when you get there and how you get in the building.
I would plan on, whenever I was working downtown like that, like downtown or close to downtown.
Yeah, like in the loop.
Get there 5:30 to 6 o'clock every morning. Even if, you know what I mean? You need to get there, even if they don't open up. You got to be there, because otherwise you're going to be parking a freaking mile away from where you're working,
Well, you got to get the parking there earlier, because if you're paying out of pocket and waiting for a reimbursement, usually if you park before like 7, you got a discount or something.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy.
Well, guys, I hate to cut this short, but it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I've got to get up and drive 3 hours in the morning.
Right.
But hey, I appreciate everybody coming. And Ren, would you like to come back next week?
Yeah, sure. If Adam's going to be here.
I can't guarantee Adam will be here or not. If once his daddy finds out that he was on here tonight, he'll probably be grounded.
Well,
but
I'll be back if you have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm this is kind of the first time I've ever been on the.
Well, now you know what to do. Now you know what to do to make it work. So that's what matters.
Well, they say teamwork makes the dream work.
We normally meet like 10, 15 minutes before and get everything sorted. So when we go live, it's all good. So, but yeah, appreciate everybody joining in and catch us next week, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. And if you haven't already, if you're just watching this, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. We really appreciate it. Keeps us coming back every week. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.